You're never going to be able to do the thing until you realize that you're the biggest bottleneck. What I mean by that is you're literally getting in your own way. Your stories, your bullshit, all the excuses, all the things that you're thinking in your head, they are the problem. The fact that you're listening to them is the problem, is the thing that's holding you back from being able to do the thing that you want to do. So I wanted to talk about that today. I worked in the food industry for 13 years and it was very stressful. It was very hectic. It was very, there were many parts of it that I enjoyed. Creating efficient systems to create food, getting creative with food, feeding people, that was fun, building connections. But at the end of the day, it was one of those industries that really just runs you ragged. Like, you are thrown to the wolves and it will destroy you. And it did. So I left. I'd go to work and I'd be at the cash register and I'd just be thinking about, I want to be doing something more. I have more to offer the world than this. Maybe it was the fact that my dad got sick and thinking about that like constantly puts this question in my head of, who am I being? What am I doing? Is the life that I'm living it's really annoying because there's a car outside and I know there's a person sitting in the car and it makes me really uncomfortable. Like, I'm fine with this camera, but like, oh my God, man, you're watching me. So that's my bullshit. What's yours? Business is one of those things that will show you the deepest, darkest parts of yourself and be like, hey, this is why you're failing. And unless you acknowledge that that is happening, you're going to keep hitting the same cycle, the same lesson over and over and over again. That's literally saying, if you don't figure this out, you're not going to be able to progress. And for me, that is fear of being misunderstood, fear of being rejected, fear of being disliked, fear of putting myself out there and having to have conversations where I look dumb or I don't know something or I'm like struggling. It's fucking scary out there. I wish it would go away. Like, it's a fucking corner. Go away. Like, you're just sitting in your car. Why would you drive to a corner, a random corner, and sit there? Like, I feel like we need a no loitering sign. What were we talking about? I live with this question in my mind of, is this the life that I want to be living? Is it in alignment with who I want to become, who I want to be, the values that I want to embody? And I don't know what it is, but there's this draw to be online, this draw to be seen, this draw to share my experiences. I mean, honestly, ultimately, I think I want to be a writer and I want to write a book and I want to use my words to share stories and experiences and knowledge. And I'm not giving myself the time to do that. Okay, look at you. You're leaving. Go away. Turns out there wasn't even anybody in the car. How fun is that? When you have a dream, an idea for a life that you want to create, as soon as you decide that this is the path that you want to pursue, you're going to encounter all of these little things that are going to pop up and be like, hey, bitch, no. I talked about this last time, about the resistance that pops up when you decide, when you commit to something. When I left food service, I started an Etsy store. Some of the lessons that I have had to learn are that I will never get the certainty that I'm looking for. I will never get the validation from other people saying, oh, you're doing a great job, you're cool, you got your shit together, you're giving value to the world. That doesn't happen. You have to keep showing up anyways. You have to keep putting yourself out there and sharing your experiences and your value and your stories. I feel like an imposter. I feel like I don't have anything to say. I got no value here. Who am I to say anything? If hypothetically, I never make any money from what I'm producing, if nobody ever tells me they like it, and if nobody ever finds value from it, then what am I sharing? I feel like everything we do, everything we create has to do something. It has to provide value. Like, the point of a podcast is to provide value, to serve a purpose, to help somebody. Bitch, I'm just trying to help myself and get over my own bullshit. So I'm sharing my own journey of getting over my own bullshit. And my journey has been a lifelong journey. You'll never be able to build the thing that you want to build unless you get over your own bullshit. And I think about older me, and I pray and I hope and I dream that like she's gotten over it. She has powered through, she's figured it out. And the thing that I keep coming back to is that I can't make everything about certainty because we don't have it. You'll never have it. That's not how life works. Especially in business, especially if you're an entrepreneur, especially if you're creative. You don't know. Nobody fucking knows. Nobody knows what's going to happen or, what might be possible if you continue to show up and do the thing and have a voice. When I was 2, my parents took me to a different country. I didn't speak the language and everything I had known was suddenly gone. Now, to be honest, I don't remember any of this. I don't remember life before 2 years old. My parents put me on the lap of, I think it was the kindergarten teacher. I don't know. But I sat on someone's lap for a while because I was too young to go to school and my parents were both working. So they needed some place to put me. This is what I have built a belief around. It's the thing that I hold on to or have held on to my entire life is that people are going to misunderstand me because I was taken to a place where I didn't speak the language. So obviously people didn't understand me. And so it built these tracks in my brain of like, if I say something, it's going to be misunderstood. And for some reason, I also am a perfectionist. Maybe it's just that my parents were really hard workers, and so I wanted to embody that level of expectation. Even when I learned how to speak, my first word, I didn't say it until I could say it perfectly. So all of this has built these pathways in my brain to believe that other people are judging me. Other people are making assumptions about me, and that I somehow have to mold myself to meet their expectations. And that's my biggest barrier of like, no, I need to be me. I need to embody who I am. And I think that's partially why the rave community is so beautiful to me, because it is about self-expression. Maybe not necessarily authentic self-expression, because I don't go around wearing rave booty shorts out in the world on a regular basis. But I do think that there's a layer of you get to be whoever you want to be. You can show up however you want to show up, and it doesn't matter. I don't know that Plur is as abundant as it used to be, because the world is full of harsh and critical judgment these days, so it doesn't feel as welcoming as it used to. But who knows? I am going to EDC in a few weeks, and we'll see. We'll see if Plur still lives. But I bring this up because I feel like, also, I have an older brother who is a genius. He went to engineering school, he's really smart, like all the things, very smart. Paved the way. And so, of course, I have always sort of felt that I need to do the opposite of whatever he's doing. He chose to go into science, I went into art. He chose to be not as outgoing, I chose to pursue friendships and try and be outgoing. Even though I'm not, I'm an introvert, sort of. I don't know. It's all a label, right? I have, over the years, created these beliefs about myself that I have to show up in a specific way in order for people to like me. It's been holding me back my entire life. The need to be liked, which we all just want to belong. We all want to be liked, but there's a way, when it dominates your entire being, it's just like fucking annoying. I will say, even with all of that, I am very independent, and I have chosen to pursue my life the way that I want to pursue it and do the things that I want to do in my own little independent way. I'm very much going to be like, oh no, I'm going to do this. If y'all want to do, I'm going to do this, right? Triathlon, being a chef, cook, moving to California. So it's interesting to me, the level of independence I have. Like, I have traveled the world. I've been all these places. I'm not afraid to do things like that. I'm not afraid to do this. I mean, I am obviously a little bit, but like I'm not, the putting it out there isn't the fear. The reaction to putting it out there is the fear. And the expectation that it needs to be good, that it needs to provide value, that it needs to serve, that it needs to solve a problem for a person, right? The same way with like my art. I struggle to create art that doesn't do something. My friend Hannah called me out on this like a couple of years ago, where every time I would come up with an idea for something artistic, I would try and then monetize it. And she's like, what if you didn't? What if you just made art to make art? And there's something in my brain that is like, but what? I need things to be good. It's the perfectionism. Coming in being like, well, why would you make it if it doesn't exceed expectations, right? So I'm my own bottleneck, and I am starting to see just how much. Here's another example, and I hate it about myself. It's that the only way to have a business is to build connections and relationships with other people so that you can then sell to them and you can solve their problem and they can pay you for that, right? So you have to have connections and relationships with people, right? Real humans. Now, Miss Shy over here, with the fear of being liked and rejected and all of that, all the little excuses that I carry in my head, it's showing up. It's showing up in the way that I show up. And it's, you know, when I make a post and I'm like, DM me for the link or DM me to sign up, it just feels very much like, ugh. Like if someone DM'd me, I would be like, really? Why are you DMing me? Don't DM me. Please don't. Oh my God, don't talk to me. But also at the same time, I'm like, please talk to me. Please like me. It's a self-fulfilling prophecy in the sense that I desperately want to connect with people, but I'm also afraid of people and what they will think of me. I hate it. It's terrible. Now, maybe you experience this. I don't know. Have you ever noticed how men don't use the word maybe? That when they say something, they say it. And they're like, this is you. I'm going to call this out. This is you. This is what you're doing. Not, you might be doing this. This may sound like you. Maybe you relate to this. They just say it. But we, women, have this way of speaking that is very much, oh, I'm so sorry. Excuse me. Can I bother you? Just hold on 1 second. I'll be right with you. It's very like, let me play down. Let me play small. Let me abandon what I actually want, what I need, what I'm looking for to make you feel comfortable. It's fucking people pleasing, but like to our own detriment. So how are you showing up that way? How are you playing small? How are you people pleasing? How are you trying to be a perfectionist and like disserving yourself because you are showing up that way? That's what I want to get into. Because it's the fucking worst. I started this podcast like 3 years ago, but I have been off and on because I keep coming into this roadblock of like, what do I even have to say? Who am I to talk about shit? Imposter syndrome, right? You're the biggest roadblock. The beliefs that you're carrying about yourself, the excuses that you're holding on to, the stories that you're making up, whatever it is that you're trying to do or trying to build, you're the thing that's standing in the way. Now, you're going to counter and you're going to be like, what about time and money and resources and energy and just like all of these things? Absolutely. There is a part of the process that is structural, that is operating systems, that is setting up your environment, making sure that you have all the things that you need to do the thing, strategy, planning, all of that. All of that's important, for sure. Absolutely. But if you're still holding on to the mental muck, the things that you are believing about yourself, then you're never going to make progress. One example is in terms of like fitness. If you believe that you're not the type of person to work out, babe, you're never going to work out. You're never going to enjoy it. You're never going to want to do it. You're going to have to struggle through it every single time. And it's just going to become this like battle. One of the things that I had clients do when I was programming and teaching fitness is to really sit down and think about, who do you need to become to be able to do this thing? And I do this regularly because I'm very much you need to embody the identity of the person that does the thing. Hence, we're sitting here shooting this fucking video and it's messy and it's shitty and I'm going to have to edit the fuck out of it. Pardon all the swearing, but also not really. You need to become the person that does the thing. If you want to build something, whatever it is, a habit, a routine, a business, a creative practice, you have to embody the identity of the person who already does those things. You may not know what that person looks like. You may not know what those behaviors are, how they show up every day. What is their coffee order? How do they dress? What do they look like? What are they doing? You may not know those things. What I urge you to start with is building that identity of who that person is. And what are their behaviors? How do they go through life? What does a regular Tuesday look like for them? For me, I'm like, okay, girl, I need a YouTube channel. People are not doing what they used to on Instagram. Not in the same way. It's not searchable in the same way. Sure, no one wants to sit and watch this, but the way you get better at something is by doing it. So we're doing it and we're trying. And that's the key. Do it messy, do it shitty, do it mediocre. However you want to set that up and say it, but you have to actually do the thing. Whatever is stopping you is probably some kind of mental muck. Yes, time comes into things, resources come into things, but those things can be managed in a way. You can figure out how to do the least amount of things in the least amount of time to get a result. You can figure that out. It's the perfectionism, the extremes, the all or nothing thinking where you're like, I have to do this correctly. I have to show up every day. I have to post every day. I have to make a video every day. I have to do all of this stuff, or not do it at all, right? I have to work out for 3 weeks every single day or not do it at all. You can't do that. You have to be able to be like, I'm going to be consistent, and my consistency will be this base level of I can do 10 minutes every other day. Consistency doesn't mean every day. I don't know where we got that idea. Consistency does not mean every day. Consistency means what you can show up for frequently, regularly, often enough, just enough to make it worthwhile. The perfectionism, the all or nothing thinking, the people pleasing. Do this for you. Stop doing it for other people. Yes, we want to help people. We want to serve people. We want to provide a solution. But I'm also sitting here making this video because I have still not gotten over my bullshit. There's still shit that I'm carrying that I'm like, oh my God, why? Why am I like this? Why do I keep being like this? Why do I keep worrying? So a lot of this is really just me trying to provide value for myself. Teach myself that it is okay to show up with uncertainty, to not know what this will look like, to edit and post and be like, hey, did this work? Did I say anything of value? I don't know. Maybe not. Maybe yes. Who knows? We won't know till later. But not worry about it, So one of the things that I wanted to talk about was the fact that I have spent the last 5-6 years building my business online. And the irony is that the work that I do for people is not what I set out to do. Originally, the plan was to do art. And then I realized that I didn't want to monetize that because it didn't feel good. Making people charge for something that I, wanted to enjoy making and then trying to mass produce stuff, that just felt terrible. So I put that to the side and I am attempting to get back to it in a personal manner, not in a selling manner. Maybe I'll write a children's book one day. I do actually want to do that. When I pivoted away from that, I moved to coaching and I got certified. I became a personal trainer and a health coach, and I got board certified. National Board of Health and Wellness. Yeah, I took that exam, hardest exam of my life, but I passed. And then I pursued that for about 5 years. But because I had left food service in 2019, I needed a way to supplement my income because my coaching wasn't making money at the time. So I figured out how I could help people. And I had started my own podcast. So I was like, oh, well, I can do that. I can edit podcasts. So I started editing podcasts for people. And then someone asked me to do some graphic design work, so I did that. And then someone else asked me to do some customer service email responder. And then I started moderating some Facebooks. And then I started building out someone's like back end and helping them with their launches. And now I am an online business manager and I help people run their launches and their back end, right? While also still trying to grow my coaching business. Basically, I'm a Jill of all trades. And I think it's a mindset that a lot of entrepreneurs have of like, well, we can just figure it out. We know how to do things. The ability to be like, I can do that. Anyways, I didn't realize that I was building this other business. Like, I didn't. Even now, I'm like, oh, wow, yeah, I work for people, but I'm a contractor, so technically it's my own business. Like, they are clients, right? I have a business. I've had an online business for 6 years, which is bizarre to say because it's like the coaching I keep pivoting with because I keep feeling like, oh, I want to help in this way and I want to help in that way. And like, I don't know, weight loss is so challenging from a moral standpoint in a way. And I'm fucking passionate about movement, but like, I love it, right? That's the thing. I love it. So it's really hard for me to coach people who don't love it, who don't want to do it all the time, who don't want to spend their life outside moving their bodies. Like, I love it. That is what I want to do. Sorry. So I'm feeling drawn to pivot away from fitness and health and nutrition in the sense of like, I don't want to program. I don't want to give you macros. I don't want to walk you through what you should eat on a Friday night to get you to your result, right? But I also feel like I noticed that a lot of the same blocks that people go through when they're trying to build a nutrition or fitness habit are the same ones that entrepreneurs are facing in their businesses, right? It's like perfectionism, procrastination, all or nothing thinking, imposter syndrome. You know, when you believe, oh, I'm not the type of person to work out. Well, if you say that, that's what you will believe, right? I guess the lesson here is that your bullshit is the bottleneck to whatever it is that you're trying to do, whatever it is that you're trying to build. Yes, resources and systemizing and having a plan and setting up your environment, all of those things are important, but until you get your mindset right, and I hate that word too, don't worry, you're never going to believe in yourself enough to do it, right? And that's why you have to do it messy. You have to show up and you have to get in the reps and you have to do it over and over and over again until you can be like, oh, yeah, I've done it enough to be like, look, every time I do it, it's a little bit more evidence that, hey, I'm able to be successful at this thing. I'm able to show up. I'm able to do it messy. And there's now proof of me having done it for multiple days. Just like with this podcast, I have 80 something episodes out there. Are any of them any good? Debatable. Get back to me on that. Let me know if you think they're good. Yeah, so there's different levels of resistance. There's different barriers that get in your way and come up when you decide that you're going to commit to building something. I think you have to understand the identity of the person that you need to become. You have to look at yourself and be like, what strengths do you have that you can utilize to help you get there? What values do you believe in? The identity of that person. What are their values? What do you have to let go of to become that person? For me, letting go of the fact that, I want this to be valuable. How you perceive this is not up to me. It is not in my control. So whether or not you find value in what I create, I can't control that. But I've believed that I can. So I've stopped making content because I'm so worried about what you'll think of it that I don't even make anything. That doesn't seem to make sense, right? So do the thing. Put your little brain viruses, mind viruses, little worms in your head. Ew, that is a disgusting thought. Put them to the side. They can all happen. You can have all these thoughts. And that's one thing that I've also realized, that with every level that you build into, you will have all of these things show up again. It's a matter of you being like, oh, I see you for what you are. Noticing the pattern. That is the key to everything. Having the awareness. Ooh, a bug. Hello, get away from me. Woo! bugs. I got flies. Los Angeles now has mosquitoes. We never used to, but it's a thing. And it bothers me because they love me. But noticing the patterns, right? Noticing when you fall back into the spiral. I have a cool little quiz that I made that can help you figure out which are your biggest patterns of resistance when you are looking to build something or work on a habit or develop something. So check that out. I'll put it in the show notes. One thing I noticed for me a lot, I love to journal, right? I'm a journaler. It's beautiful. I love it. But there is a point at which journaling is a waste of time. A point at which it's just you sitting there and ruminating on your own thoughts about things, right? And that is not serving a purpose. It's not allowing you to take action on your behaviors. And the goal of a coach is actually to help you get from being stuck to action, right? You need to take action. What is the thing that is standing in the way? What is the pattern that keeps happening? So like for me, when I journal too much, I start ruminating, I start spiraling, I start getting negative, I start complaining, and I need to not do that. So I notice when that happens, and I learn, and I'm like, oh, I'm in the spiral. I'm about to spiral. Stop. Go take a walk, go step away, put on some music, distract yourself from your brain. You don't have to sit and listen to what your brain is telling you. That is not going to serve you sometimes. Now, you should always have some level of awareness of what is happening in your brain, but just because you can see it doesn't mean you have to believe it. So I'm going to leave you with that. And thanks so much for listening. Hopefully some of this was valuable. And if not, it doesn't fucking matter. I'm not doing this for you. I'm doing this for me. I appreciate your support if you are here and listening and watching and enjoying. All right. Thanks for listening. Ciao. See you next time.